Good day everyone. I am Mary Christine og karon akong i-discuss what is control structures all about or what are the control structures. So, three basic structures, almost 10 flowcharts created for purposes of solving a problem are made of three basic structures. First is the linear, second relational or selection, then third is the loop. So, para ang imong flowchart kay powerful, kaning tulo ka structures should work together. While ang linear structures can work on its own for simple tasks, relational ug ang loop structures are more powerful kapag nag-combined as they allow decisions and repetition. So, first, linear structure. So, ang linear structure sa flowchart nagrepresent siya sequential execution sa mga steps or actions where ang kada step is carried out one after the other without any need for branching og decisions. So, in other words, ang linear structure kay mura siyang straight path nga dili na nag-require og evaluations or conditions. This makes the linear structure simple and independent as it doesn't need other structures like ang relational or loop to function. So, na example number 1. Mag-draw daw ang flowchart nga mag-enter siya og duha ka numbers through the keyboard and then i-display ang ilang sum sa screen. So, ang algorithm, let us take the steps to deal with this. So, steps number 1. Define uppercase A as container or variable for the first value. Number 2, define uppercase B as container or variable for the second value. Number 3, define uppercase S as container or variable for the third value. Number 4 is get the value of uppercase A and uppercase B. Fifth is compute the sum by adding the first and the second value. Then last is display the sum on the screen. So, kani maun ni siya. Linear recursive steps. If the same class of processing needs to be done twice, ang linear flowchart dili na sufficient. So, ang linear structure processes steps in sequence and wala siya nag-accommodate og repetition or balik-balik. So, to handle it, kailangan nimo i-introduce ang loops, sub-processes, or decision points para i-repeat ang process without redundancy. So, mauna siya ang visual representation or ang flowchart sa linear in relation to loop structure. Relational structure. So, ang diamond symbol sa flowcharting nagrepresent siya og decision point where ang logical comparison is nahitabo. So, inside the diamond, ang condition kay gi-evaluate. And base sa result, ang flowchart mag-take siyag one of two paths, which is one for true outcome og another for false. So, in many programs, ang decisions kay crucial jud siya as they determine ang flow based sa situation nga naa sa ilaha. So, ang relational structure model, which is ang nakita niyo sa figure 3-4, nagpakita siya kung giunsa sa decision to choose between paths. So, no matter kung asa nga path ang masunod based sa test result, ang flowchart should eventually merge into a single path before continuing to the next step in the process. So, bisag asa pa ka nga path paghuman sa test result, ang flowchart should mag-merge siya sa single path at disir ka mag-continue sa next step sa process. This ensures the flow to continue nga smooth even after gi-diverge for decision making. So, ang yes or no or true or false nga answer nag-guide siya sa flowchart to take one of two paths. Depende kung unsa nga option ang nag-correspond sa outcome sa question nga gi-evaluate. So, ang decision point is about asking kung asa nga condition or situation is true or the yes or false or no. And base sa answer, ang flowchart will proceed along the corresponding path. Relational operators. The truth value of comparison or expression can be determined through the use of 6 relational operators as shown in figure 3 to 5. So, ang truth value of a comparison or expression, ma-determine siya using 6 relational operators. So, ang kanang equal or equal to, nag-check siya if ang duha ka value kay equal. Then, ang kanang less than, nag-check kung ang value sa left is less than sa value sa right. Then, greater than, nag-check siya kung ang value sa left mas dako sa value sa right. Then, ang not equal, nag-check kung ang duha ka values kay dili equal. Then, ang less than or equal, nag-check siya kung ang value sa left is less than or equal ba sa value sa right. Then, ang greater than or equal, nag-check kung ang value sa left is greater than or equal sa value sa right. Nested relational structure. So, ang nested relational structure, nahitabo lang kung ang decision point or ang diamond's shape sa flowchart nag-contain og another decision-making process inside it. So, instead nga mag-evaluate kag isa ka condition, ang decision box kay magamit para evaluate ang more complex nga condition, which might involve multiple comparisons or evaluations. So, ang nested relational structure nag-allows og more complex evaluations while ga-maintain og logical flow sa program. So, ang nakita ninyo sa screen is the example number 3. So, draw a flowchart to enter 2 numbers from the keyboard and then find the highest value and display it on the screen. So, naa na dira ang steps. So, mao ni siya ang kalabasan. Suggested solution. Let us consider the flowchart as shown in figure 3.6, which illustrates a nested relational construct. So, ang kaning nakita ninyo sa screen is nested relational construct na siya nga flowchart. So, third structure is the loop structure. So, kadalasan sa mga program kuan lang sila, like ginabuhat nilang series of instructions over and over until a certain condition nga mahitabo. So, this action of performing a repetitive task known as a loop. So, kanang pagbalik-balik sa mga task, ginatawag na siya og loop. Ang loop structure dapat na siya control, and that is, i-terminate niya pag ang certain condition kay na-met na. So, obviously, ang loop ug ang relational structures must complement each other. So, the latter will serve as the determining factor whether mo jump ba sa pinakauna or moadto na sa pinaka-end sa processing range before ipass its flow to the next steps, either in linear or ang selection construct. In short, ang relational construct nag-control sa loop kung mo-continue pa ba siya or mohunong na. Thus, nag-manage po siya sa flow of repetitive processing. So, ang loop structure model nga nakita ninyo sa screen, nag-illustrate siya og instance when a certain steps kay nag-repeated subject to a condition as found in the relational construct, which is mao ang nag-control sa repetitive processing. So, next is ang infinite loop. There is infinite loop when the execution of steps is repeatedly done without let up and without definite ending point. So, what is an infinite loop? Ang infinite loop kay sequence of steps nga nagabalik indefinitely. Wala siya hunong or mo abot siya conclusion. Wala. Mao pong ginatawag siya og infinite loop. Last is the controlled loop. To avoid occurrences of infinite loop in the flowchart, the loop must be guarded with at least one definite exit point. The loop must be paired with relational structure. The relational construct must allow jump to control to the beginning line of the previous steps only upon a condition that it will terminate. Let's predefine the flowchart in figure 3 to 8 into figure 3 to 9, which, aside from being restricted in loops, it also employ interactive method of processing. So, para ma-prevent nimo ang infinite loops, dapat i-ensure nimo nga ang imong flowcharts na siya controlled loops with definite exit points, relational structures, and conditional jumps. So, dapat naa siya exit points para dili mahimong infinite loops. And that's all everyone. Thank you for listening.